Hello, welcome to another exciting adventure in real estate on Lockin' It In with Deb and Pear. I'm your host, Deb. I'm the real estate Sherpa. I'm a real estate agent in Tacoma, Washington. My co-host is Perrin.
I'm Perrin Walker, loan officer NMLS number 1735529. I can be reached at 253-226-6454. I work at Mortgage One Northwest, and their NMLS number is 82426. Mortgage One Northwest is an equal housing lender. This is not an offer to enter in an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without notice. All products are subject to credit and property approval.
All right, thank you, Perrin. Yeah, we're sorry we have to go through that every time. That's just, it protects us and you. And I also want to let you know that your situation is unique, so don't take anything we say on the program too much to heart. Always consult the properly licensed professional, and don't interpret anything that you hear as legal advice. And with that,
even though it's good advice.
With that, I'd like to introduce our guest and welcome to Michael Cunningham.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Michael is with Protec Northwest. Tell us about the company, and also how did you get to where you are?
Yeah, sounds good. So I'm a military veteran. I spent 4 years in the Navy, and then I got out after 4. Thought I needed to be a father to my daughter. Was more important to traveling the world and protecting everybody else, right? So I got out after 4 years. I was in the car business for a little bit. Going through a custody battle over my daughter, and decided, I want something better for myself and her, and started working at Comcast at their call center. Then I was doing really well there. They transferred me to the Xfinity Home Department, just doing security, and that's what I did in the military. I was doing security as well as I was a primary SAR swimmer. So a lot of the security portion of everything of my life came from the military, and I left Comcast, went to ADT Security, spent about 4 years with ADT Security. Then I went to a company called My Alarm Center, and now I'm with Protech.
Okay, and what do you do for Protech?
I'm the sales manager there with Protech.
Okay, great. So you're the one people would talk to when they want to get a system set up?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm one. So what
you
happens?
Have a sales force under you, basically, or
we're a smaller company, and we're looking to build that. And once we build more of a team, we'll have people underneath me.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now, I always see advertisements at least once, twice a week in the mail, and
Right.
Everywhere for ADT and all these other major security companies, and it always seems like a good deal. Pay nothing now and sign up and
here's a contract.
How do you really compare the differences? Because you can't even compare their services really unless you give them your address and talk to them. And And how is Protech different than these companies, and what is it in particular? I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I have a million questions that I'm trying to ask here.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So a lot of the companies like ADT, Protection One, Comcast, are all national companies, okay? So you're dealing with someone, the corporate office is not even in the state of Washington, really, and that's one of the big differences between Protech and ADT and things like that is Protech's a local company. Our office, our corporate office, is right here in University Place in Tacoma, in Washington. So our mindset and the vision of Protech is basically we want to be the largest security provider in Washington State only. We don't want to branch out outside Washington, which, one, it helps with the customer service, and it helps a lot with the pricing as well.
Yeah, and everything is catered toward the local market. What they need, and instead of having national plans that are kind of broadly appealing.
It totally is, yes.
Yeah. Are security systems and security companies regulated by Washington State?
They're regulated by Washington State, also regulated by nationally as well.
Are they?
Government, yes.
What kind of things do they regulate? What's important?
What's important to the security provider, or what's
the
important to
To
an
the security
individual?
private, and then
And
to,
to
to
the
to
government.
us.
So what's
and
what's
consumer
important
anyway.
to, I mean, for example, what's important to me in Protech is, we protect our customers either on the business side or the residential side, right? And we want to make sure that we don't just put a security system in their home and then we're done, right? We want to be able to touch base with them and follow up with them throughout the time they live at their house or they have their business. That's our intentions.
So they actually can talk to a live person.
Absolutely.
And the person knows where they live. They're familiar with where they live and maybe.
Or work, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So that's always nice,
Yeah.
'cause,
The local presence I think, is really good when it comes to something like that. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Now, do you see any? I know these security companies have all these different features, and some of them sound kind of fancy, and some of them just sound like, why would you need those?
Right. Right.
And I don't know. One thing I don't think I've seen too much is about related to smart homes, because you could have, even your panels, I suppose, technically could be hacked. Your security panels.
Yeah, so a lot of that, when you deal with companies that like Simply Safe or some Ring capability, stuff like that, sometimes when they send you the equipment, you install it yourself. There's not a technician that comes out and installs it. So basically, when you install that, you're putting it on an open network. Where with like Protech and things like that, we really strive on the protection of our customers. We're local, smart, and secure. Okay, that's our motto: local, smart, and secure. And the benefit of that is that we do everything we can to keep it on a closed network.
So do you work out with the local Wi-Fi as well then?
So on the security, on the intrusion side, you don't need to have Wi-Fi. The only thing you need Wi-Fi for is basically the automation portion of things. So like the cameras, things like that. That's where we need internet.
Okay.
Things that if you just want intrusion or smoke monitoring, things like that,
That's
it
not
doesn't.
on Wi-Fi.
It doesn't require Wi-Fi. No,
Excellent.
So what happens is the RF signal passes. We put a cellular communicator inside the system, and what that does is it allows the RF signal to pass through cell towers, pings off cell towers now, instead of going through a phone line, which it's not as
So
secure.
what happens if power goes out? Does that affect you?
No, it doesn't affect our clients at all because it's backed up by battery.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah. Now, what was I thinking? So you've never had something like a virus in the system, like.
In my all the time I've been in the security business since 2009, I ADT, Comcast, my alarm center, now Protech, I've never had to deal with someone actually getting into our systems.
Okay.
So it's been pretty secure. And the platform alarm.com, which we use, is a very secure company. It's top notch.
Is that a common platform for security companies?
It is, and it's one of the best in the industry. It really is. And that we like I said, we have the automation portion of things where we can do it. We have an app, everything you can control remotely on your phone as well. You can turn on and off your security system. You can open and close your garage doors, your front doors. You can lock and unlock your front doors. On the business side as well, we can do the same thing.
You turn on and off your oven, or is that a separate app?
That we cannot do that right now.
That's not part of security.
Maybe one day with the technology, we'll be able to do that.
Okay. And so I know there's things like alarms for things such as leaks. Do you have?
We do. We do flood detection. Any kind of thing you can probably pretty much manage. We can do. We have flood detection. We carbon monoxide. We have fire protection. We have. There's new devices going to be coming out in 2019 where we're going to be able to control your propane gas. You're going to be able to turn on and off your propane, as well as be able to turn on and off your water sprinklers as well.
Yeah,
Wow.
that would be
And you have
handy.
burglary, of course.
Yes, absolutely.
And also, I would like to be able to turn on and off my valves.
Yep,
my
and we'll
plumbing.
be able to do that, and it's really kind of nice. So before you even call the plumber, we can actually get you set up, and you can just turn off your water and stuff right there from your cell phone.
That would be awesome. You know what I think also would be really nice? We have these thick panels we hang on the wall, but I've always kind of envisioned the wall itself as being the keypad, and you know, if you just tap the wall, then you see all the controls in front of you, and you know,
That may be a
That
little
way
bit
if
That
down
might
the
be,
road.
you know, we're probably
rearrange the
like, we're
house,
probably
you can
5 to
just
10 years out on
move
that,
the
probably.
panel, you know.
5 to 10 years out, maybe on that
I
one.
also have this vision for floors. So when you get up in the morning with your bare feet, you don't have to step on the cold wood floor.
You know, they
floor will
have
a
heated
heater.
flooring for that, right?
They do that?
I don't offer that, but just talk to a floor specialist. They can do that.
I didn't think they had that yet, where it's automatic.
There's floor heating stuff now. Yeah.
We need to get a
Digital-
floor specialist
digital.
that does that on the show, hon.
Yeah, that would be nice. All the cool.
And then we
floor
need him to come
features.
over to our house.
Right.
Yeah, I just envision a world where I wake up and my breakfast is made. You know, everything's the
I'm
heat's
sorry,
on,
honey,
everything's
I'm sorry.
warm, and you know the alarm automatically turns off, and you know.
Just have your husband get up out of bed every morning, right? And do that for you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. If I'm happy to wait until noon for everything, I'm good with that.
Right.
All right. So tell me about what are there any what are the features that you would recommend at the bare minimum that people would have?
So that's a great question, but that's an open-ended question in the security business, or on the business side or the residential side. The main what we do is we go to the business or the home and really get down to the needs and wants of the business owner or the homeowner, because everybody's going to have different wants and needs. Some people just want window sensors. Some people want everything, including automation and things like that. So, usually most homes have 3 doors, which is a front door, back door, and the man door to the garage. That's most doors, most houses these days. But other than that, it's more based on wants and needs of the client.
Okay.
It really is.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
we have a system, and we have about 2 more years on our contract, and we can hardly wait to get over with that. Then we'll come to you.
Appreciate that.
Can you just transfer our system over? Because we will have paid for it.
Well, they use different equipment.
Yeah,
do you use
sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. It all depends on the system. One being if it's older than 10 years. Most of the time nowadays, anything older than 10 years we cannot take over. We're going to have to.
Some of
replace
it's
it.
older than 10 years. Some of it's like 2 years old, 3 years old.
Well, and that all depends.
think
We
any
can
of
The
I don't
cameras
think-
are new.
None
for
of it's
example.
older than 10 years.
So we can all see. We can all go in. We can go in and have our technician. There's dealer codes that we can punch into the keypads, things like that, where we can see if we can take it over. But if there's a block in there or it's priority, like we can't do it. Like for example, there's a company out there that is strictly priority that nobody can take over, and it's called Comcast.
Okay,
It's all
we're not
prior-
with Comcast.
Yeah, it's all priority. Nobody can take over that equipment. So what that would do is just require some new equipment in the house. But
Not that
nowadays
you necessarily want the other equipment. It's not necessarily.
it all
better,
it's, like
you
I
know.
said, it all depends on what's in the house. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, are there statistics that would show certain features help a lot more than others, or that it's worth spending the extra money for?
There's a lot of research out there that anybody can do, but just out of example, you go to crime reports and you can see all the crimes that happen in Washington. FBI even states that you're an 80% chance of not being broken into with window stickers and yard signs. So that deterrence, it really helps out a lot with clients and peace of mind and things like that as well.
And you think cameras make a lot of difference?
Oh, cameras make a huge
Yeah.
difference, and the cameras that we offer. So we have the wireless options where you can view it live on your phone as well. Then we also have the CCTV option, which are 4K cameras, really high definition, really being able to picture someone's face. And what that footage is used for is for the police officers and the authorities to go in and say, okay, they have video footage and they can see face recognition, things like that. But with the 4K cameras, you can actually see license plates and things like that. So it makes it really easier to help catch.
Are those becoming pretty common now? 4K cameras?
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like your TVs now, right? So you got
Yeah.
4K televisions now. Well, we have 4K cameras that we offer at Protech. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
great.
So let me tell you a little bit about our history with alarm systems. We used to live out in Purdy by Key Center
Okay.
in Gig Harbor. So we never had an alarm system, and then one day Someone broke into our house.
It was
stole
the
our-
neighbors across the street.
Was it? Are you sure?
Yeah, it was
We
the
d-
Ennis's.
Well, anyways, we don't know who it was. But they broke in. They stole our checks that were hidden. We thought they were hidden. Stole a bunch of other stuff. But the main thing was they stole our checks and started writing checks all over Washington State. So we got an alarm system and never had no trouble in that house. So we moved to Parkland, and we had an alarm system put in because we had learned our lesson, and we didn't have it turned on, and she was upstairs sleeping.
All right, so let's add some context here.
Okay.
I had just come back from Singapore or the Philippines, somewhere in Asia, and just the day before, and I was sleeping, and I was really, really out of it. So
someone came in and
anyway.
stole 2 laptops, went up into the back bedroom where she was sleeping, and she saw him and she said hi to him, and he took off running.
yeah, I was not with it, and
He
and
broke
my
our
glasses were
back
on.
window to get in, and we had an alarm system. He had to walk past it to get to her.
It wasn't set.
But it's on the wall. So that's our experience with alarm systems. You got to turn them on, huh?
Yeah, but with nowadays, but back in the old days, yeah, you had to manually hit the keypad, go to the keypad, turn it on and off. So it was a really hassle for a lot of individuals, a lot of customers and clients that had that. Nowadays, with the app, being able to control everything remotely on your app allows you to literally activate and deactivate your alarm before you even get into your house or before you leave.
I always find that I don't use that because then I always have to mess with opening up the app and doing the buttons, and I usually have other stuff in my hands, and I.
Yeah, but so what's really
just
nice
don't
about
use
Protech and Alarm.com using their platform is that you can do it in the car. So when you get in the car, you get your stuff in the car, you sit down in your car seat, you get buckled, or you get in your seat, buckle up, and things like that, and then you can actually go in and actually arm your alarm. Or the way
Even when you're away, huh?
absolutely, yes.
Yeah, you can do that anywhere.
Absolutely.
From
Anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet connection to your phone.
What I really like to do, though, is I love to answer the doorbell when I'm not at home. I just love
The doorbell cameras are a huge hit lately, and we do at Protech offer the doorbell camera as well, and you can actually talk to someone live. You don't have to be home, but they can't see you, but you can see them, and so it's
Excellent.
really kind of nice. You can see if it's UPS, FedEx at your door delivering those packages to you and things like that.
Tell them to put it in the back.
You can actually, you can actually talk to them. They, like I said, they can't see you, so you can be right here in the studio, and you can actually talk to someone at your home. And it's really amazing being able to do that, and knowing that UPS and FedEx and all them delivering your packages and things like that, and not just leaving it on your porch. You can say, hey, can you drop it off to the backyard, or can you take it to the neighbor's yard, and things like that. So it's really, really beneficial.
I also like it too because we don't have a window in the front, so we can't really see who's at the door. There's no way, so I just turn on the panel.
I have a lot of clients that. When the doorbell rings or someone walks up to the doorbell, they already know before they even get to the knocking on the door, and so they can see who it is and be like, oh, it's a solicitor. I don't want to answer the door right now. Oh, it's my mother-in-law. I definitely don't want to answer the door right now, right? So
yeah, it's really awesome. Although you have to make sure though, if you have 2 systems set up in different houses, that you have the right one activated.
Well, and that's what's really nice about the Protech app is that in the upper right-hand corner or the left-hand corner, one of the two, you can actually go in there and control multi-unit systems, right? So if you had multiple homes or multiple businesses, you can go in there and review and see what's going on with each location. So it's really nice.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Now, what do you think is some of the things people do automatically that are security red flags or mistakes that people make quite often, more than others?
A lot of couple things here is one, people leave the doors unlocked still, and we're in the 21st century, and people are still leaving their front doors unlocked. People are leaving their garages doors open, forgetting that, I'm thinking they shut the garage door, but it's really open. Now it's open all day. So most break-ins happen from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Really?
And the reason why is because most people are gone. Everybody's gone, right? So it makes sense for burglars to come in during the day. People think a lot of it
But
happens
when
at
we
night.
were robbed, it was about 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, the intruders think that everybody's gone, right? Your neighbors are gone, things like that.
Car's gone.
Car's gone. Yeah.
And that was the first day I'd been home, so there was no change.
He could have been watching my son and me.
Yeah, and burglars
And we were both
they
gone.
hadn't
We had both
seen me.
left. And
and thieves nowadays will sit in your your cul-de-sac near your home somewhere and hide and watch your movements. And when they want to get in, they're going to get in. That's why it's really important to have security for sure.
Yeah. And I've noticed too, people tend to hide things around their house and they don't really think about it too much. When I'm hiding stuff, first of all, I think, okay, if I were a tall person, would I be able to see that? Or what's if I was going to ransack a place? What would I do? Well, I dump out the drawers. I'm not going to hide something in a drawer, right? It's not going to be.
don't give your secrets, honey.
A lot of people do.
Well, that's not a secret. Don't check my drawers.
Where do you live? No, I'm just joking.
I mean, I know I've heard the master bedroom is a common place.
It is.
First place to look because that's where your jewelry is.
The reason why burglars love the master
Not
bedroom,
mine.
one is jewelry, things that are itemized on your insurance, right? Like old jewelry, like grandma's insurance that's been passed down from line to line, things like that. Credit cards, guns are real big. Like homeowners place guns in their master bedroom because that's where they sleep and they
wanna
want
be
that
safe,
protection,
yeah.
right? They want to be safe. So when a
You gotta
homeowner
keep it close to you then.
Well, when a homeowner's gone, they're not going to bring
Across
their
the room
guns,
to
right?
get it.
So then now you're having someone break in that may be disarmed and now is armed, right? So a lot of those things, like jewelry, credit cards, cash, things like that, burglars can go get gas if they need to, things like that on their credit cards, or go buy other things. But also weapons. I've seen it before where someone breaks into someone's house and now uses their weapon in a murder scene, and now they're not getting their guns back for 7 to 10 years. So
Also, garages for tools, right?
garages for tools are big because for
are
burglars, they
expensive.
can take those to a pawn shop and go get an easy buck, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you can get a lot of money for tools. Tools are expensive.
You can, or you can
They're
sell,
big.
or
They're
you
big,
can
but-
sell them like a lot of people sell them on the black market, or go to pawn shops and
or sell them to melting facilities.
right. I mean, it's an easy way for burglars to go get their drug money.
Yeah.
It really
And
is.
here's the sad thing. You also have to watch where you put your bike, even if it's locked. You need an appropriate lock, like a U-lock and a chain lock, and a proper place to put it on. You can have a $600 bike. It gets stolen, and that person who stole it, they're gonna sell it for $25.
Right.
It's just it's a horrible crime.
Yeah.
That makes it more of a crime in my opinion because the person that stole it didn't even get the value out of it.
So you guys monitor your own systems,
Anyway,
right?
I've had a bike stolen and another one they tried to steal, but I had the right kind of lock,
Yeah.
and so they were able to cut that cable, but they weren't able to drive off with it.
Oh well.
So-
Yes. To answer your question, we do monitor.
Do you guys get a lot of false alarms?
That's not. I
Is
mean,
that a problem?
false alarms are a problem, and so what happens with the way we do business is Protech does business, and it was like this with my alarm center as well, but we would call the homeowners or the business owners first to make sure everything is okay when we have an alarm.
Yeah.
Because in the state of Washington, in certain areas, you can get fined for having false alarms, which that's why we always call the owners first, and we always like to have at least 2 emergency contacts because of that reason. And then we always call the primary and then the secondary just to make sure everything's okay.
You call both of them, even
do.
if you talk to the primary?
We do, yes.
That's
okay.
unknown. I've never seen that before, and I think that's a great policy.
It is, and even though, like, say for example, the primaries are like, no, nobody's home, we're going to still call 911, and we're also going to call the second emergency saying, hey, there's been an alarm. We've already dispatched 911.
Excellent.
Yes.
I'm glad. That's great. That's another reason why I want to go with your company now.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, I know we strive to be really good, and it's a great local company for sure.
Yeah, we're with Vivint right now.
I'm sorry, then you're not fully protected.
Now, I just had. Tell us, is there a difference between a home invasion and a break-in? What is that distinction?
Yeah, so a break-in is basically quick jewelry, cash, get out kind of thing is a break-in, more of a break-in, right? A home intrusion is you're going in there and grabbing everything out of your home, really, pretty much. So like you're violating the whole house, trashing it, things like that.
Okay.
Where you actually have a little bit more time to grab more like TVs, PlayStations, things like that, where they can get more value.
Okay. So just a simple break-in when they're looking under the couch.
That would be considered more of a break-in because burglars usually are in your home for maybe 5 minutes less.
Okay.
On average.
Okay. So if they stay superficial, it would be break-in, maybe.
Yeah, more break-ins are more common than home invasions, but home invasion, someone's really want to get into your house.
They want to find everything.
Yeah, they search your whole house for everything. So
okay.
What does the homeowner need to do in order to receive your service? Do they have to get a permit or anything like that? Or do you take care of that?
We take care of that for all the customers. Now, it depends on what you guys want to do. Certain things might require a permit that we get, but we let the customers know. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Now, what is actually the number one reason people get these systems? Is it because their neighbor was broken into, because they were, or it's a good
There's
deal?
different reasons for everybody to get security. One, they heard of a break-in in their area. Two, their own house was broken into, or they've had a history of break-ins, or they've had some kind of experience with a break-in in the past. So a lot of people have different reasons for having security. One, protection of kids, right? Teenage kids, they like to break in and out of houses. They like to sneak in and out of houses, and being able to control that a little bit more on a parent's end. Like I'm a parent myself, and knowing that I know when my daughter's coming and going in the house is real huge. But on top of that, you also know when your cleaners are there, your dog watchers are there, things like that. So it's more of a peace of mind for the business owner or the homeowner as well.
Okay. Now, would you say there's a difference if whether or not, as far as the deterrent goes, whether or not it makes a difference if it's monitored versus unmonitored? Because I don't think the thief can tell, can they?
Well, it's a big difference to having a monitored to an unmonitored
safer,
security
right?
system. You are safe, and the reason why is because it's more on a secured network compared to an unsecured network. Two, you're having, if you are gone, say you're in Florida on a vacation with your family, someone breaks in your house and it's a non-monitored security system. Who's calling the cops?
You're not going to know until you get home.
You won't. So the
app won't tell you.
Some apps will tell you, but now you're taking time away from your family on your vacation and saying, hey, you personally gotta go call 911, say someone's broken in, calling your brother-in-law, calling your brother, calling whoever you trust to have keys to your house to go, hey, can you go check on my house, make sure everything's there, things like that. You're taking time away from your family, and what matters most to homeowners or business owners is family, right? So having a monitor system, knowing that, hey, I got your back. We're going to do it for you. We're going to call 911 for you. We're going to call you and say, hey, are you guys okay? Make sure everything is okay. And we're going to call you to follow up and just make sure everything is good. Knowing that and having that, you get back to what matters most, and that's your family, your kids, things like that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So what's the easiest way for our listeners to get in touch with you, to ask you questions? Or
what's your phone number and your email address and all that?
Yeah, so my name is Michael Cunningham. My phone number is 360-689-9804. And my email address is mcunningham, CUNNINGHAM, at protechnorthwest.com.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Now, all right, one more thing before we go. I have a problem sometimes. I'll go downstairs in the morning and I'll go in the kitchen and I'll make breakfast and I'll come out, and as I'm carrying all this stuff, the alarm goes off.
Sensor.
Yeah, you either so there's two types of security systems. There's a alarm stay and alarm way. You probably have it on alarm way, and you triggered the motion detector.
Right. It's just when we have the away set, which is why we don't do it anymore.
Yeah, so that's an easy fix. Or like before, because a lot of people nowadays, and that's what's really cool about having the app nowadays instead of running to the keypad, is most people take their cell phones to the bedroom, right? That's their alarm clocks now, things like that. So it's right next to them. So when you wake up, you can go ahead and
turn
just
it off.
just turn it off or
But
hit
I'm not
arm
thinking
stay.
about that in the morning. You know, I always forgot. But anyway, the motion detector catches me, and
It will.
you know,
But
but
least-
it doesn't catch me. It doesn't catch me at the first when I go downstairs.
It catches on the way back.
It catches me only on the way back.
But at least you know it's working though.
Yeah, well,
Y-
I mean, that's telling me if I'm small enough, you know, I might be able to get away with something, right?
Well,
I mean,
thank you for being on the show,
anyway.
Michael Cunningham, Protech. My name's Perrin Walker. My number is 253-226-6454. And next week, who do we have? We have the plumbing guy.
Oh, yeah. Next week we'll be speaking with Brian Harding of the plumbing and
Drain company.
drain company. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. Yeah, the plumbing and drain company next week. So we'll be talking about plumbing, which is really cool. I'm really excited for this topic. So
Thank you very much.
anyway, thank you, and we'll see you
Have
again
a nice
next
week.
week.
All right, thank you guys for having me.